My guest today on Delhi Dialogue is a man many believe will play a very crucial role if Mr. Modi does come to power in his government. He's the Deputy Leader of Opposition in the Rajya Sabha, the head of the media campaign for the BJP. It's a pleasure to interview Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad. Thanks a lot for being with us on the show. I'm first going to talk about a little bit about the controversy that's hogging the limelight. The Election Commission was a little upset with Mr. Modi's impromptu speech that he gave. FIRs were lodged, but there almost seems to be, the party is of course very upset about this. Your cadres are furious. Is it fair to put the election watchdog in the door?
No, we have the highest regard for the commission. But as per our understanding, Mr. Modi was speaking beyond the prohibited zone of 100 meters. So many mics were there. Were they removed? They were not removed because they were beyond the prohibited zone. Now, in a democracy, what is democracy, Supriya? Celebration of India's diversity and people's wish.
Right.
Mr. Modi being the PM candidate, media is bound to ask questions. Should the media be penalized for this? Is a larger question of constitutionality. Now, since they have asked an FIR to be filed, the legal courts will be there.
Right.
But in my very considered view, it is hyper-technical. Okay, that's all I can tell you. For instance, if Mr. Modi has gone with his symbol or displaying that, many candidates go inside the booth with their party's patka on their shoulders, isn't it? Congress or BJP or anyone else.
So who draws that line? Who draws that Lakshman Rekha that this will be crossed and this will not be crossed? Who decides that?
Obviously the commission. But I'm more curious about the chronic complainant Congress party. Almost reduced itself like a child. Go and campaign. Maybe they are suffering reverses in the campaign. So they have reduced themselves to being a chronic complainant. So
are you a little upset though that the election regulator has been questioned in this entire process?
Well, we all have the highest regard for Election Commission. They are doing a very good job. We are very proud of that. But yes, maybe some of the lower level officers become very hyperactive. Therefore, there is a need to revisit it. That's all I can say.
Wonder if the Election Commission is doing a CBI or a CAG and all of that. But I'm going to talk to the media head of the campaign for the BJP. I'm also going to speak to a very pragmatic politician who I've come to know through years now. You are not going to deny and you will insist there is a Modi wave sweeping across India. I grant you that. You will say it. But you are a pragmatic politician. I know you to be a very candid man as well. You will not deny in that process that it's a very well coordinated campaign as well. It's remarkably managed in terms of media management, in terms of the PR machinery that has gone into it. Your critics say that the BJP talks about 300 plus, which it is in the last lap. You seem to be now believing your own press releases. You seem to be now digesting your own publicity. What would you say to that?
My reply is very simple. I am a TV personality on behalf of my party.
Right.
When this whole survey started, September last year, we were being granted 160.
That's right.
They used to ask me questions. I said, wait. Now, the last in March, they have given BJP 229. They are reputed TV channels. I will not name them. They are giving a clear majority to NDA. I told them, wait for a month. What was found to be excessive claim is being vetted by independent surveys. I can tell you, Supriya, only this, having watched Indian elections closely from 1977, when I was a young JP movement activist. Except 77, when there was a clear JP wave and against Indira Gandhi.
Right.
This kind of yearning for change, for alternative, particularly Narendra Modi, I have rarely seen, and I have travelled substantial part of India in the campaign.
And you actually maintained that position for many months now, so I'm going to grant you that. But the question that I wanted to ask you is that do political entities, and in the process I'm naming the BJP right now, do political parties run the risk of believing their own publicity?
No. I would always say hard work is important. There is no substitute for hard work. And I always put a caveat. Mr. Modi will become the Prime Minister with the blessings of the people of India. Okay. And we are trying to. But one thing I must flag. The kind of response which we are getting in areas which have not been conventionally strong for BJP, Assam, Northeast, Arunachal, Odisha, Bengal. I just talked to Andhra Pradesh friend. He is quite upbeat. Mr. Chandrababu Naidu is doing quite well. The BJP is doing quite well. And our alliance may get good number of seats there. In Tamil Nadu, I have been in charge of that area earlier. Therefore, all these areas have become very encouraging, exciting areas for BJP.
So while you're making inroads into virgin territories for the BJP so far, and that's perhaps giving you the optimism, there are two states that seem to be, not performing as well as you would have perhaps envisaged it to. One is Bihar, the other is Punjab. I'm going to talk to you on Bihar because you really have your finger on the pulse of that state. In hindsight, do you think Ramvilas Paswan was made out to be a bigger asset that he is? Because on-ground reports seem to suggest, and even media reports seem to suggest, that Lalu Yadav is resurging.
No. This palpable appearance of Lalu's resurgence is more to do with the decimation of Nitish Kumar. He is going to be a chronic third. And don't be surprised, I am making an announcement on your channel. Nitish Kumar may not get even a single seat, or maybe one by fluke. But we are intact. Our base, our support base, and don't forget one thing. The resurgence of Lalu has a great meaning for a big chunk of Bihar population. A reminder of the old days. That is also giving its own incremental value to our campaign. But people of Bihar, wise as they are, know it too well that this is an election for India, not for a Gram Panchayat or Vidhan Sabha.
Fair enough, but you do not think that Lalu Yadav will gain ground at your expense?
Not the least. Not the least. What we had anticipated a threefold fight is maybe twofold fight in the fourth and fifth round of elections. But what is a matter of some curiosity and some degree of dismay, Mr. Nitish Kumar dished Narendra Modi for an illusory vote which has dished him in turn.
If your party doesn't get the numbers, let's presume for a minute you do not get that absolute majority, you do not get that magical mark with your present allies, and your potential future allies do not agree on Mr. Modi, speculation is rife that Rajnath Singh could be the dark horse for the NDA coalition. How true is that speculation?
Yes. I'll just clarify that, but let me reply to you one larger issue. Right. If people are having a quest for Narendra Modi or BJP, they are equally having a quest for a strong, stable national government. Don't forget it. Because they don't want to have a reversal of Devegowda days. They are fed up with Congress party and UPA. And they know for India a stable government is important. And you may have seen in most of the state assembly elections, Shiraj Singh Chauhan.
This is a very decisive mandate.
Decisive.
That's true.
Now as far as Rajnath ji is concerned, I know it is a triggered department from the opposition, this campaign. There is no plan A, plan B. The only plan is BJP led by Narendra Modi. And let me tell you, on 16th, perhaps you will also realize this question was entirely hypothetical or academic.
Okay, I'm going to still ask you a follow-up on that academic question. If Mr. Modi is not acceptable to allies and there is a compromise on another candidate, will BJP go for another candidate or will you be prepared to sit in opposition?
Let me reply you to this like this. There was a talk that Mr. Modi will be able to polarize India. Has not happened. There was a talk that Mr. Modi will not get allies. Supriya, for a kind information, in 96 we had 3. In 98 with Vajpayee ji we had 22.
That's right.
In 99 we had 26. And even before the results are out, we are having 28 already under Modi ji. Therefore, this is for the allies part is concerned. And let me tell you, the allies were more keen because Ramvilas Paswan came to us. He left BJP on the issue of Modi ji. He has came back. Ramvilas Paswan, Ramkripal Yadav, other allies, TDP, because they know that India is waiting for Modi ji.
That's also because they also know that they were not being accommodated as they wanted to in their own parties. Ramkripal Yadav came to you because Misa Bharti wanted to contest from the
I totally agree with you. But he came also with the conviction that he has served too much for the leader, his wife, now his daughter.
Right.
And being a good political activist with a clean record.
He wants to serve for himself now.
No. He wanted to have a pan-India presence. And he came with BJP. He's a good friend of mine. I brought him.
You haven't answered my question. So you're a lawyer and a very eminent lawyer. And so I'm not going to argue too much. You haven't answered my question. If Mr. Modi is not acceptable, will the BJP sit in opposition or will you work on a compromise solution?
First of all, if the if has no substance, why should I reply that question? I have said there is no plan A, plan B, and you're talking to a person who has travelled a substantial part of India and knows the people mood. Not by survey, but by first-hand information.
Fair enough. I will ask you, you've said that you have about 28 allies on board even before you went into polls. it's the post-poll scenario that is obviously very crucial for all political parties, including the BJP. Some of the bigger ones, say a TMC, say a Jayalalitha. Let me just talk about scenarios. As far as the TMC is concerned, Mamata Banerjee is really riding on this minority vote base. There's been a verbal and a very ugly, unfortunate exchange of words between the BJP and the TMC. Jayalalitha is herself a PM aspirant. She's not perhaps willing to play second fiddles to anybody. Are you not banking on these kind of coalition partners at all?
This propensity to become the PM candidate is the biggest advantage for us. The people know that. There are how many PM's candidate? From Madam Jayalalitha to Mamata ji, to Mulayam Singh Yadav begging ki mere ko PM bana do,
to Mayawati,
to Nitish Kumar, to Mayawati, to Lalu also lurking with a wife in the front. Come on, India has travelled beyond. It is a young India. It is a resurgent India. They want a decisive, stable government with a clean record of governance, and they know that can be done only by Modi ji. Yes, I am willing to concede that this eagerness and yearning for Narendra Modi ji is directly proportionate to the manner in which Manmohan Singh has run India. And how he has run, I do not need to say about Sanjay Baru's book.
No, we're not touching that book. We're talking about pure politics, not getting into the realm of media advisors. Why I wanted to ask you this question is that have you shut doors on potential allies like a Mamata and a Jayalalitha?
Well, in politics you don't shut doors. But who knows? The people of India made themselves shut doors, giving us a handsome, stable majority.
This election is...
I will have to interrupt you here.
Sure, sure.
Did you, in the wildest of dreams as a senior seasoned political journalist, ever thought that NDA will touch the magic mark? Now, we are not saying independent surveys are indicating.
Surveys are saying, yes.
That shows the people mood. Did I ever realize we'll do so well in Bengal, in Odisha, in Tamil Nadu, in Northeast? We are likely to do very well. These are indications of the maturity of the voters of India.
And also, I think a yearning for complete change in the establishment.
Undoubtedly.
So, I want to ask you a question, not as a BJP person right now. I want you to wear your seasoned politician's hat, somebody who's been a part of political life since 1977. Why is it that all political establishments, be it the BJP, be it the Congress, are completely belying the possibility of a third front, of these regional satraps coming together, supported by the Congress, just to keep the BJP out? Even the Congress doesn't seem to be believing in that theory anymore. But that is a distinct possibility, isn't it? I'm asking you as a pure political expert.
In politics, history is not repeated, and if it is, not with alarming regularity. Third front is a past, has no relevance for the present, no promise for the future. Because I would give a reply to it. There was also some cobbling of a third or fourth front.
That's right.
Why they did not succeed in the assembly elections? Why they are not? Because people want delivery, performance, and they realize a stable government only can perform because they don't want to have frequent midterm polls and uncertainty in Delhi.
They want more decisiveness, perhaps. I'm going to switch focus away from poll politics and talk about the possibilities of a Modi-led government. This election campaign, insiders say, and everybody else who covers the BJP knows, is not being managed by 10 Ashoka Road here. It is really being managed by Gandhinagar. It is being managed by Mr. Modi's very close confidants like an Amit Shah. Do you see the possibility of a lot of influence from people like him in the government, where ministers may be reduced to just directives from the PMO?
First of all, let me tell you, Modi ji's team, whatever team you're talking about, Mr. Amit Shah is the General Secretary of the party.
Right.
A senior General Secretary, a good friend, is in charge of UP, is a pure part of the machinery of the party. There's nothing harm if important people from outside the party have given their whole sweat for the party's campaign. I know for sure, I can name one, Manoj Ladwa. He's a lawyer in England. He has taken 6 months sabbatical.
That's right.
Vijay Tinchadhaiwala, he is a CEO of a company. He has taken a 6 month sabbatical. What is wrong with that? They are pure, hard political material. But as far as influence is concerned, the first thing Mr. Modi will do to restore the dignity of the office of the Prime Minister and also the PMO.
At one level, do you think a very strong PMO, and I kind of agree with you that in the UPA 2's term, at least the Prime Minister and his office was reduced to complete ridicule. But do you believe at one level a very strong PMO reduces the authority of individual ministers who may be very good in their own right? A case in point, somebody like yourself.
No. Whether I'll become a minister or not,
We'll
you are embarrassing me.
Yes.
What is important is that the minister have to work in sync with the Prime Minister. Not like an autonomous defiance authority as happened in the UPA 1 and UPA 2. Therefore, they have to work as a team, and our constitution is what? It is a council of ministers headed by the Prime Minister, where he is the top leader. Therefore, it has to be in sync.
You don't think there will be undue influence of people like an Amit Shah and Modi's government?
No, come on. Organizational input is important. At least it will not be an input from a family and the family members. If a political leader, for instance, manifesto have been prepared, or haven't we given our own inputs as political activists? So what is so wrong about it? If Amit Shah has been a minister, has completely energized the BJP in Uttar Pradesh, where we are going to likely to cross 50 plus, if he gives an input, nothing wrong about it. But the political decision of the government will be taken by the Council of Ministers.
I'll ask you this question before I move any forward. We had Amartya Sen vote yesterday. So some of these eminent economists like himself, global publications like An Economist or the Time magazine or Forbes or Washington Post, they have all raised concerns on if the minorities need to fear Mr. Modi. Do you think some of those concerns have any ground, especially because in his campaign many people thought he will reach out a lot more to minorities than he has? In hindsight, do you believe he should have perhaps reached out to minorities more than he has?
Mr. Modi is saying India first. He is talking about inclusive government. His record of governance in Gujarat is an example whereby the growth of Muslims in India is the best in Gujarat and the worst is in Bengal, a secular government. I will not like to take any names of or other newspapers. I have got the highest regard for freedom of press, including their right to criticize.
Right.
But let me tell you one thing. There have been a motivated, malicious campaign against Mr. Narendra Modi globally, also in India. And those people have not changed with times. And on your channel, let me charge them. They maintain a conspicuous silence on the kind of serious communal flare-up happened in Muzaffarnagar under Mulayam Singh Yadav and the most inhuman treatment given in the relief camps. Has Mr. Amartya Sen even spoken about that? No. But 12 years earlier, he is remembering. But the people of India have travelled, and let me tell you, Mr. Modi's government is going to be a government for 125 crore plus Indians.
Fair point. I'll ask you this question because I had tracked you very minorly so in Mr. Vajpayee's government. You enjoyed a lot of his confidence. You also enjoyed Mr. Modi's confidence. How similar or dissimilar the two gentlemen, especially in the Prime Minister's position? One potential, one has been.
No, Vajpayee is Vajpayee. Two people can't be together. You know, we are fortunate that whether it is Mr. Vajpayee or Advani, all have nurtured us. But everyone grows in his own mold. Mr. Modi will be different. Mr. Modi will take a lot of inspiration from Mr. Vajpayee. He is talking about that. From economic reforms to India's strategic issues, the defense issues. But surely Mr. Modi will be different as well. And every leader must be allowed to grow in his own mold as to how he performs. And Mr. Modi's record of governance is there for us to see in the last 14 years in Gujarat.
I'm going to talk to you about issues other than the BJP, and I'm going to talk to you about something that has been in the headline as well. Fortunately or unfortunately, unfortunately, this political discourse, this campaign has seen, stooping down to the lowest level. So yesterday we had relationship status checks on Mr. Digvijay Singh. The question that I would want to ask you is that, as a politician who's been a part of public life, do you believe these things should be left to the bedrooms of politicians and not discussed in public?
Obviously, I completely agree with you.
Are you disappointed that your parties commented on this yesterday?
I will leave it. Maybe the very garrulous Mr. Digvijay Singh, who was making so many issues of Mr. Modi, of a campaign he was making. Therefore, let's leave it there. On privacy issue, it is entirely their concern. I have nothing to say. But yes, this I would like to say, in public life, the kind of language you use, the kind of criticism you make, must have certain standards. But with a caveat. If election is the celebration of democracy, then fun, pun and vyang will be a part of that. And we must learn to respect that.
I keep calling you a wordsmith for no other reason than this. I'm going to talk to you about something because you said public versus private life. The BJP has attacked Mr. Robert Vadra for his dealings in the whole land issue with DLF, the Haryana government, the Rajasthan government and all of that. The truth is, it's a contract between two private parties. The question that I want to ask you, sir, is, and you are an eminent lawyer yourself, is that is the BJP right in targeting an individual? Shouldn't you rather train your guns on a Sonia Gandhi who's a chairperson of the Congress, on Rahul Gandhi who's leading this campaign, or on a government that you believe was dysfunctional in the last 5 years?
First of all, we have been doing that. But there is no personal attack on Mr. Robert Vadra. Mr. Vadra's case is being highlighted as a textbook case of corruption, also one of the example under UPA. And let me ask you 3 questions. If Mr. Vadra has this kind of entrepreneurial ability, why did he not do business in any non-Congress state governments? Or he did not do... No, please,
Yes.
How is it that a person invests 1 lakh rupees and without any verification of financial credentials, he is given LOI in 18 days, commercial license to exploit in 1 month's time, the value goes, and by the way, because of less time, I am not going to the details of Rajasthan. My charge is the entire Rajasthan government changed laws, bent procedures to enable him to have a windfall game in the solar energy policy by maybe at times telling him as to how to go about the land management.
Your party's chief minister has been now in office for the last 3 months. Why has she not taken action so far?
Facts are being collected. You want to have that after getting a 3/4 majority, the first thing she should do is to hound Mr. Robert Vadra so that Supriya says you are going for a vendetta. No. Neither vendetta Modi ji said, nor I am saying, nor she is saying. The law will take its own course. But our allegation against Mr. Vadra has nothing to do. It is a case of corruption. And I have said on
Why
that
not
day,
attack the party? Why not attack so many ministers?
No, I am replying. But for Sonia Gandhi's patronage, this whole indulgence from the state government she would not have done, because the man was the measure of everything. That's the issue of corruption.
Fair point. I think you have a point there. What I'm going to ask you is shift focus from Robert Vadra to his wife. She is perhaps Congress's most charismatic campaigner. Was the BJP at one level stumped with her aggressive campaign against the party and especially against Narendra Modi? Were you anticipating this to happen?
No, nothing. It is an indication of the failure of Rahul Gandhi. As simple as that. Or even Sonia Gandhi. Because the son has failed, the mother has not been able to make an impression. Let the daughter come. I have no problem with that. Okay? But Supriya, country has travelled beyond the son, daughter, mother phenomena. And those who think on conventional lines that she has a charm of Indira Gandhi, I have nothing to say. It is entirely for Congress to bring her or not to bring her.
But was the BJP surprised with her taking centre stage despite Rahul and Sonia Gandhi being campaign chiefs?
No, not the least. Except with a caveat, with somebody with a smile. Why Robert Vadra is being defended only by Priyanka Gandhi?
It's a message being sent to party cadres.
No, sorry, not by Rahul Gandhi, not by Sonia Gandhi, maintaining a conspicuous silence, not by senior Congress leaders also, except tokenism. That is my point. That they also realize it is a case of corruption, it is indefensible. And as a wife, she is saying, I have nothing to say. Maybe some of the language could have been avoided.
Since 1977, you have seen that political class and business class have been friends only in the background. In public life, they maintain a fair amount of distance, a fair amount of dignity. Mr. Modi, is he too close for comfort with India?
No, now let me see on ET now, it's very important. 5 lakh small and medium industries are doing so well there. All the PSUs which are in loss now are making 4,000 crore plus profit. It is not only for big industrial houses. Even small and medium are doing quite well. But I am on a larger issue. If you want manufacturing to grow for employment, for revenue, you'll have to give encouragement or not. The kind of Mudra port which has come about, and Mr. Rahul Gandhi is completely wrong. Mr. Modi gave on 15 rupees a square feet. Mr. Adani has clarified. The Congress government gave rupees 1. And has Adani got lands in Maharashtra or not, in Gondia, 400 hectare plus, in Haryana, in Congress government?
Has India become the collateral damage of this campaign?
No, not the least. Only thing is, there must be a courage of conviction कि मैंने जो किया, clearly किया, transparent तरीके से किया. Nothing shady about it. And by the way, can you deny that the Mundra port today is handling 70% of India's outward flow?
Traffic, yes.
So these are important. Mr. Rahul Gandhi, I am sorry to say, by raising this, I could have ignored Arvind Kejriwal. But if Rahul Gandhi has only this to say, I am surprised. Mr. Rahul Gandhi had nothing better to offer as far as his own governance record is concerned.
One last question. You're the Deputy leader of the opposition in the Rajya Sabha, the head of the media campaign, many people will be a part of very crucial policy making in Mr. Modi's government. What kind of a role do you envisage for yourself?
No, you see, I have been a party worker for a long time, from my student days.
I don't expect you to be modest. I
No,
expect Ravi Shankar Prasad to always
I'm
be candid.
not being modest. I am being as frank as possible. Who will become a minister or not a minister should be the discretion of the Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, okay, and the party leadership. So let's wait for that. I am not hankering for any position, nor we are trained to hanker. But what we want is India must grow and India must deliver, and we hope Modi ji will deliver.
We wish you all the very best with your campaign, sir. Always a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.